Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. How is it going on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning? Thank you guys for rocking with me. I believe Brandon is going to join us this morning. I think he's just running a bit behind, but you know how we do it. We're going to push on because the barbecue is for the people who show up and the early birds get the worms, right? So let's see who we have rocking. Okay, I saw a comment there, but it went away. So if you're there, I missed it. If you put a oh, Miss Brenda Davis is showing. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Miss Brenda. Thank you for rocking with us. Hope all is well with you and that you are having a grand time in your new season. So thank you for rocking with us. Good morning, Brandon. How's it going?
Good morning, Mom. I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, good, good. Um,
Good, good.
are we gonna try to do Instagram at all?
We can.
Or you want to just wait and start fresh tomorrow?
I think that'll be better for me. It's on Monday.
Okay. All right.
Just for everybody. You know,
Hey.
my folks are on the weekends. They sleep in a little bit.
Okay. All right.
We'll just
All
go
right.
with it
I just
Monday.
for some reason thought about it this morning as I was preparing. So thank you guys. KL, good morning to you. Hope all is well with you. I checked on you yesterday. I told you, I think I said you'd been on my mind. So I hope everything is going well with you um, out there in Cali. No, Vegas. Is it Vegas? Vegas. So,
Okay.
but good morning, everybody. She says it's showing day 30 instead of 1:30. Oh, it is? Lord have mercy. Okay, I'll see if I can change that.
Took 100 days from us, Mama.
I know. Let me check the title. You know, something happens kooky when I do it on my phone because you go ahead and rock with it, Brandon. Let me change that.
Okay.
We don't want to I'm gonna have to change it later because it's probably on StreamYard. All right,
Okay.
we'll rock with it. We'll rock with it. I'll change it. I'll see if I can change that later. I don't know if I can change it while we're airing live here. Thank you for that, Miss Brenda. Because everything here says 1:30. So let me
Good.
make sure I put that out there. And you go ahead and do your thing. I'm gonna try. Whether I can do it or not, I'm gonna try.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, thank y'all everyone for joining us and welcome and good morning to you. Happy Sunday to you. Hope today is a restful day for you. Uh, and I appreciate you all for waking up and getting started with it this morning. If you're looking in live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram again tomorrow, or if you're coming back and watching this after the fact, we do go live every single morning at 7 a.m. At 7 a.m. here on YouTube Live, on Facebook Live. And then going forward, we'll be doing more on Instagram Live to kind of catch back up. They shadow banned me for a little bit. But welcome again, guys. And if you aren't familiar with what we do, let me break it down just a little bit for you. We are going through the book Daily Motivations for African American Success, written by Dennis Kimbro. Here's a look at the book. It's Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro. And I'll give you just a little bit of background on it. This book will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short, powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year, and what it teaches will last you a lifetime. So every single day we're here, and each page is broken down with a passage, with a quote, with a description or a story outlining some type of motivation or encouragement, specifically through the lens of African Americans, their history, uh, and people. And so we just wanted to invite and get you guys here. We started this out as a celebration and acknowledgement for Black History Month. And 102 days later, because we had 28 days this year in our leap year, but with 128 days later, excuse me, 102 days later, we are still here. Much thanks to Mom for the butterfly, aka my mother, for keeping us going and keeping that momentum going strong. And thank you for all the participants and for the people tuning in every single day, from the Brenda Davises to the Mike Arnolds to the KLs to everyone. We really appreciate you guys showing up. So let's jump right into it. Are you ready, Mom?
I'm ready. Ready. I got tea this morning, Brandon.
I got water.
You got water? I got some
Mm,
black tea with some honey.
mm,
It's good.
wow, good. Yeah, I wanted water this morning, so I'm gonna start it out with water, and I'm gonna graduate up to my coffee. I actually don't have any more creamer, so I that ain't my fault though. That ain't my fault. I ain't blaming nobody else, but it ain't my fault. um,
Y'all funny. Y'all stay running out of creamer.
man, her nickname is Cremita, which means like little cream girl. She be using all the cream.
Won't you just buy 2 or 3?
Mama, we do. We do. It's
Oh,
just, we just get caught up and, oh yeah, we need creamer and get back here. I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's gonna be a water and tea morning. That's fine. We need it. We need it anyway.
all right.
We need it anyway. But yeah, let's any additions before I jump into it, Mom?
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
Want to keep it short and sweet this morning?
Yeah.
All right,
We can
let's
keep
go.
it short, sweet, long, whatever, but I just don't have anything right now. I will later.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, let's say today is June the 9th. Oh, y'all gonna like this title. Your cup runneth over.
I said mine.
Mhm.
I made it personal.
We're going to get you.
Yeah, I be doing my own thing. I need
I
to stop doing
see.
this.
I see. She said the 30 day
Well,
30 in my cup.
my girl, I want to leave it, but I'll change it. I'll change it.
You're so silly. You're so
It's
silly. All right,
fine.
y'all. It's that black tea over there, y'all.
No, this was something else right here.
hmm It was a
All
what they
right,
call
I
a
changed it
Freudian
for
slip.
y'all, but just so y'all know, my cup runneth over.
There you go.
All
Hey,
right.
your cup got me saying it. Your cup runneth over. Your cup still is your cup. And our quote from the distinguished African American comes from Nathaniel Bronner Sr., who's an entrepreneur, who said, "Success is when your cup runneth over and your saucer too." Success is when your cup runneth over and your saucer too. Imagine yourself standing before an abundant waterfall. What would limit you from taking your wealth of water from that waterfall? The size of your container, right? If you had a cup, you'd have a cup's worth of water. If you had a gallon jug, you'd have a gallon's worth of water. If you had a barrel, you'd have a barrel of water. If you had a tanker truck, you could supply water, or in this case, wealth to all your friends and family. What if the same were true of all the attributes of wealth? What if your ability to experience peace of mind, health, happiness, abundance, prosperity, love, and opportunity were limited only by your ability to receive?
Mm.
What if each of these qualities were available to you in infinite supply, and the only thing limiting you was the size of your container? Yet most of us don't think that way. We believe that if we have a cup, only a cup's worth of water ever dribbles over the waterfall. This is an illusion, a highly convincing illusion, but an illusion just the same. If we wanted to expand our ability to experience peace of mind, health, happiness, abundance, prosperity, love, and opportunity, we must expand the size of our mind first. You create your container by seeing yourself already in possession of what you want. You enlarge the container by stating positively and affirmingly, I am healthy. I am prosperous. I am happy. As the container is enlarged, you will inherit the wealth of life. And the affirmation that we read 3 times, one for me, one for you, and one for the person you're going to invite tomorrow, is today I will dig my well before I'm thirsty. I will affirm what I want. Today I will dig my well before I'm thirsty. I will affirm what I want. And last time, today I will dig my well before I'm thirsty. I will affirm what I want. Mom, what do you think about this one? What are
My
you?
cup runneth over. My cup runneth over. That's what I think about this. Um, no, but seriously, Brandon, to me, this is just about how God how God meets all of our needs, right? Um, and how we see that is how we receive it, if that makes sense. So it talks about what size, if you could get water, what are you getting it with? What size is your whatever it is, your cup? What do you have? What are you taking before God? What do you have the faith in? Because God provides for us more generously than the heart can even desire, right? If we just take everything out of it, He provides for us more generously than the heart can even desire. I don't feel that we have the faith to desire. You remember, ask, we have not because we ask not. And sometimes we don't have the cup or the saucer running over because we don't ask for big things. We say we serve a big God, but we don't ask God to solve those most difficult things in our life. And if and when we do we ask with faith? Do we think my life is going to run it over in this prayer, in this asking? Do we truly believe that? Do we truly believe? Do we get a plate and say it's not going to be a saucer? God, I'm putting a plate, a bowl, a platter on the table. Remember how I mentioned the other day that I asked for the first parking space? Brandon, I was watching or listening to in this particular morning. I was also looking at the words, and I think it was Mary. I don't know if it was Miriam, but it was talking about Zechariah, I think, and what they were asking for. And it was saying that God said, this is small for me. Like what you're asking for is small to me. Do you remember where that comes from? You sent me
It,
the
it broke up. It broke up on us, but I just heard the Zachariah part. What did you say?
right. It's where you sent me the things to listen to the words, and it was talking about this passage. I believe it was Zechariah, and God was saying the things you're asking is small to me.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
like it's so small. But I just don't feel we have the faith that we say we have. So my cup runneth over to me is more about your faith
Mm-hmm.
in God, in yourself, and becoming detached to your feelings and emotions. And that doesn't mean dealing with them, but our actions to things. We attach ourselves to people and situations and the things that happen in our lives. And if you trust God, can you not just say, well, God, I don't understand, but I trust you. And my
Mm-hmm.
cup and my saucer still runneth over. And I get it. Life pops on us, life happens. But y'all, we got to stop popping when it pops. We got to still keep the faith. We got to still think that my cup runneth over. So I'll ask you today, what is it? Brandon, where's that part where it said, if you had a gallon jug, you'd have a gallon's worth of water. If you had a cup, you'd have a cup worth of water.
Mm-hmm.
What are you taking? What are you taking before God? Are you just taking a cup? Oh, God, fill this cup up for me, please. Do you have the faith to take a gallon jug? And let's go on. Do you have the faith to take a barrel? Right? And it keeps going. Do you have the faith to take a tank? So,
Mm.
what do you have today? And what are you taking to God? What are you taking before God? What are you asking Him for? Better yet, what do you believe? What are you believing of your asking? Because sometimes we just talk just to talk. Sometimes we just pray just to pray. Sometimes we go to church just to go to church,
Yeah. I think I
right?
know what you were talking. You're talking about when Zechariah was asking, "How can my wife have a baby when she?"
Yes, yes. And she's barren, and yes,
And then the angel replied that it is done. Your Lord says it is easy for me. Uh,
right now.
that's
Okay,
Surah Al-Maryam, chapter 19, verse 9.
okay, yeah,
About
yeah,
7, 9. Yeah,
yeah.
about
And when
9.
I came across that, it was timely for me because it was after I had asked for the parking space. And, I was so excited that I got it. And I tell you guys, last night I asked for something so big. I asked for something so big, but it wasn't for me. Well, maybe in a way, but not directly for me. I mean, I would oh my gosh, I would be blessed by it for sure. But I asked for something so big for someone else that, and I just believe. I believe it's going to happen. And I pray to God that I'm here to see it. But in my praying and my asking, I let it go. I let it go. So that's all you can do. Does your cup runneth over? And with what? Because sometimes our cup runneth over with so much mess that we can't even see the blessings. You got yourself wrapped up, tied up, tuned in, tapped in on other folks' business, even business of yours that you have no control over. Because sometimes you have to just turn your own stuff over to God so that what He has running over in your life and for you, that's your target. That's what you are focusing on. But sometimes we get so wrapped up in the mud. You know how you put a glass, they say you can put something in a glass, maybe a Coke, I don't know. And then if you run enough water in it, it's going to run clear. It's going to run clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same thing with your life. If you let the junk run over and out, the things that you are putting in it, if you're allowing yourself to grow, to become detached, unattached to people, to things, to circumstances in your life, to go forward, those things are like the clear water running in the muddy water. And eventually, enough clear will take over the muddy. So, what are you taking before Him? I would say your cup is running over, but with what? All of our cups are running over. It's just with what? That's the question. With what? And what are you taking? Are you taking a cup before God? A gallon jug? A tank? Take a bus, right? Take an airplane. So whatever He puts in there, you can fly around and share it, right? You could help people with your runneth over, which is your blessings. And how often do we miss the blessings because we focus on, or I say miss the positive because we focus on the negative? When something rubs you, and I'm gonna turn it over to you, Brandon. I was thinking about this last night as well. When something offends you, take you off just take you off your take you out of your race. The best thing to do, you guys, is sit in the seat of your soul. Find the weed. Find the weed that made you offended, that made you get out of your race, and deal with the weed rather than the situation or the person. That's another way to allow your true goals, right? As the book tells us, your true goals. Know when to say yes to foolishness. No to foolishness and saying, yes, I'm backing out. I'm not here. I'm leaving the room. Do what you want. Your cup will runneth over. But as long as you stay tied up to people and their stuff, man, muddy waters. Muddy waters. One thing is we try to be too holy. And you can't without being having a holy relationship with God. Y'all right here trying to have relationships with people who don't have a relationship with themselves, and they'll kill your relationship with yourself and your relationship with God. And your cup will runneth over with the wrong stuff.
Hmm.
The wrong stuff. Over to you, Brandon. I'll check comments.
Thanks, Mom. I don't know if I have much more to add to that. I'll just point out the things that stuck out to me that you create your container by seeing yourself already in possession of whatever you want. You enlarge the container or whatever you're filling up with, or whatever is being filled. You enlarge your container by stating positively and affirmingly, I am healthy, I am prosperous, I am happy. And as that container is enlarged, you inherit the wealth of life. And I wonder, at what point are you full? Do you know when your cup is running over, right? Or are you focused everywhere else to where you don't even know that it's time to grow? You might have had a cup at the waterfall. And what's interesting is there's a Chinese proverb that says that drops fill the bucket, right?
Mm.
Little drops fill the bucket. Have you ever imagine you had a 5 gallon bucket and you're trying to get water out of one 5 gallon bucket and pour it into another 5 gallon bucket that's on the ground? If you get all that water filled up to the brim of that 5 gallon bucket and you just dump it like this into the other bucket, you're gonna miss a whole lot of water. You're gonna spill a whole lot of water, and whatever you have in the bucket that you poured in is gonna be less than 5 gallons, right? And so I'm not saying that everyone should drink from a fire hydrant. Your cup filling over could be from a stream, it could be from a river, it could be from a faucet, or it could be from a waterfall. Um, that's up to God. What's up to you is your container, right? Your container. What are you filling up? And are you satisfied with just a cup? Does this quench your thirst? Does a bigger container quench your thirst? And what do you do once it's filled to the brim? Do you grow or do you let it run over? And what does that look like? And these are just questions that I think as I read the passage that I was asking, like, okay, well, if my cup runneth over, am I wasting by not getting another cup or becoming bigger or filling up more space so that others could take from it? So I'm really looking at that metaphor pretty hard. Um, so if your container is built by your positive affirmations or for what you say, then what are you affirming? do you wake up and be like, man, on Monday morning, I'm so tired
Every day. Not
every
Monday
day?
morning. Monday
Oh,
morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning.
people say, how you doing? And this could be us, right? This could be us. How you doing? So, I'm a little tired. Instead of being like, I woke up. All praise be to God. I woke up today. I got a new opportunity to do amazing things. I could change my life today. So I'm awake. My cup grows in that instance. Or if you're dealing with a health issue, right? You're dealing with it, right? So you say, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm healthy. I'm pursuing this health right now. I'm gonna eat my fruit and vegetables. I saw my Uncle Mike doing this for a while, getting himself in shape and healthy, and 170 pounds later, his cup is still being full. He's still growing his container. So a lot of it is mental, and a lot of it is being aware of our blessings and acknowledging our blessings. Because a lot of times we'll sit there. You ever had a cup full that had more water in it or more liquid in it than you thought was in there? And so you're walking around moving, and a little bit of it spills. Like, oh man, I didn't know it was filled to the brim. I think a lot of us might be walking around in that same, realizing just how blessed we are, just how much we have at our disposal, and how much information we have at our fingertips. You know, we literally have AI now that can write a website for you, that can answer any question, that can be a almost a confidant, like a genius confidant. And as soon as you ask the AI something, it that person or who I mean that entity that you're talking to, that technology that you're talking to, automatically becomes an expert in whatever field that you ask, right? So you have access to all types of things. It'll dang near do the work for you. So what is your potential with this cup? Are you growing your cup and saying that I can only do this? Or are you keeping your cup too small by saying I can only do this? I only come from this place. If only this, or I'm suffering from that, then you're already defeating yourself in a sense. You're already defeatist where you could be. Mama, I don't know if you remember. Yeah, you do. I think you reminded me of the story where I was riding the Prius. I was in the Prius and saw there's this car that I really like, but Lord knows I will not spend no money on that car. Even if I had it, I don't think I would buy that car. But I would imagine it, that Prius was that car that I like. And I ain't even gonna mention it because I don't want you guys to be like, oh, that's the car. You know what I mean? I don't want us to be materialistic. But I had just as much fun riding in that little Prius as they did in that sports car, right? Like there's nothing you could tell me that I wasn't in that car right there. And I laughed. I was like laughing and happy, and I even hit the gas a little bit. And I didn't go that fast because I was in a little Prius. Like his engine, but I'm telling you, it felt like I was in $1 million car.
But
So
Brandon, that's a good point because I remember thinking about you. So Brandon rides in that Prius like it's a fat Mercedes or a truck, right? And
yeah,
a lot of men and women will not get a Prius because it's a Prius. I'm too manly, right? So I remember Jimmy's grandbaby saying somehow we were talking about cars, and she was like, they're just cars. They get you from A to B. I don't see the
mhm,
big deal. Now, this is a 10-year-old. Well, she was probably 10, 11 at the time. And she's like, I don't see the big deal. They're just cars. They get you from A to B.
right.
This is what she said. But we'll go spend more money on a car than we would a house. Some people's cars cost more than the place they dwell in. And that doesn't have to be so expensive as well. But think about it. If your car is even half the cost, to me, something's wrong. And I'm like Brandon, I guess he got that from me. I'm just not going to pay a lot of money for many things. Like, mm-mm, you know? And I wonder sometimes if I had $1 billion, I think the most that I would do, I'm a lover of old cars. Like I would love to have me an old Mustang. I'm
Mustang. I
talking
already knew you were gonna
about
say it.
1960 something.
67 or
Like
something.
a Pontiac Le Mans. I would invest in me a couple of old babies and fix them babies up, right? And some people might think that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But to each his own, just like Brandon with the cup. Your life, God may have given you a cup. But does that cup runneth over? And do you have a saucer under it to catch some of it and that overflows too, right? If you have a tank, do you have tank faith, cup faith, tank faith, gallon faith, right? So whatever God has given you, do you have the faith to have it runneth over, right? Because as
I
I
have a question.
mentioned, God, go ahead, Brandon. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead, sweetie. I just have a question when you're done.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I can stop right here.
I just thought about something like there. I just read a part in here that says that what if your ability to experience peace of mind, health, happiness, abundance, prosperity, love, and opportunity were limited only by your ability to receive, right? And I know, like for myself, a lot of time it's my ability to receive that will stop certain things, right? Like I have the pride of wanting to do it myself and wanting to, buy my own thing. So like when the cup runneth over, God might be trying to bless me, and I'm like, what? Okay, what's filling that cup? Water. Okay, wait, let me go and get two hydrogens, and let me go find this oxygen, and put them together and make my own H2O. Now, how long would it take me to sit there, if I even could, to go get two hydrogens and an oxygen, put them together bit by bit until I fill my cup when God got a river right? So like, are we able, I'm speaking to myself as well, able to receive God's blessings without the survivor's guilt, right? Without the no, I can do it myself. Because sometimes help comes through people that you might not want help from, or people that you intended to help, and
He's
now they're
preaching to
helping.
the preacher, y'all. He's preaching to the preacher.
Hey, I preach to the mirror every day.
He preaching to the preacher. I'm a rat on you. Y'all, I have to force Brandon. As a grandmother, as his mother, I believe in this generation pouring into the generation behind. And I have to force Brandon to accept
Anything.
anything from me. I have to force it. He will go all around the world, right? And I tell him all the time, man, count this as a blessing that you have a mother. You have a mother who is a grandmother who wants to say, "Hey, baby going to summer school, let me get it." Right? Let me get it. I'm grandma. Y'all do something else with that. Put it up for them later. Let me get it. You know? And there's this man thing, this pride thing, right? Ego thing too, preacher. But he's talking about it today. And I could say he's getting a little better. A little. And I'm thankful for that. But you guys, you have to pour into your own cup. You have to pour into your own cup, your gallon, your tank, whatever it is that you have to pour into it. It says you create your container by seeing yourself. How do you see yourself? When you look in that mirror, see Trent's on with us, when you turn that mirror inward, because see, a lot of times we don't. And that's what I meant by when things happen, when you feel your cup's not running over, turn the mirror inward. Find the weed. Find the weed amongst the flowers. Because they grow too. And the weeds grow. The weeds, you don't even maintain the weeds and they grow. Right? If you don't take care of a flower that you plant, it will die. Get that. Now the weeds, they do their own thing. Plant a flower and just don't tend to it. Plant a flower that needs a little sun and a lot of sun. Watch what happens to it. So what are you planting in the cup, in the gallon? What do you have? What's in it? What are you pouring in it? Because sometimes we want to pray and sit back and just, okay, God, well, you didn't do it. I'm mad now. I'm just going to do life the wrong way. Come on. You walk around going to church, busting the doors open. Talking about you serve a great God, a mighty God. You serve a mighty God. But what? What does that look like? What does that look like with your cup, with your tank, whatever it is that you have? Because it could be small. It could be a cup. But if it runneth over, hey, you good. You good. You are blessed and highly favored, right? But it's just how you look at it, y'all. How you look at it. Um, I want to come back to, well, let me go. I found something here. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart, right? Let's talk about the desires of your heart. What do you desire? I remember hearing somebody preach on this. It was a lady, and she talked about the desires of our heart. When you delight yourself in the Lord, your desires become godly desires. You're not praying in vain, meaning praying for your own selfish reasons, your own selfish gain, right? You don't go before the Lord with your ego, with your selfish desires for you to be able to get things that you don't need. Just get all the stuff that you want for the wrong reason so that you can look the part. that you could drive up and they see you in the Mercedes, not the Prius. Because if you drive up in the Mercedes, they gonna see you, baby, but they only see the Mercedes. They might never ever really see you because their focus is on things. They ain't caring about your cup or your salsa running over. They just caring about what you can run over in their lives, right? How you can get, they can get in that Mercedes and ride and look good.
Mm-hmm.
F your cup and your salsa. I just want to ride in your ride, right? So when your desire, when you delight yourself in the Lord, your desires become more godlike. And that's when you get the desires of your heart. That's when your cup runneth over and your saucer too, or your tank and your salsa. But keep a salsa under everything you get because that which runs over, if it runs down in the salsa, guess what? It's just that much greater. You got a little bit more of it. Like Brandon said, if you just kind of pour the water into it, you're gonna lose some of that. You're gonna lose some of it. And in this point here, losing some of it is when you start getting off the trail, off your path, right? When you get attached to the feelings and the emotions and you react to things rather than respond. Taking medication, you don't want a reaction to it. You want it to work. Brandon, I'll never forget Aristide. This boy used to when we would go to Bible study and just around common talk. Aristide is a friend of ours of the family. Aristide said, "Sick? I don't get sick. I'm God's child. I don't get sick. Doctor can't tell me I got nothing." I mean, he would be so serious whenever talking about being sick and things like that. He knows that his cup runneth over in healing. Not even healing, just not getting sick. I don't get sick. And I can't say that I've ever seen Airseed even sick or down or whatever. He's always on just like he's up high or something. But he's like, I don't get sick. I serve God. They can tell me I got whatever. I'm like, oh no, I don't got it. So go back and read your records again. How does your cup runneth over, people, period? How does it runneth over? And to much is given, much is required of you. And sometimes we don't want the much because we don't get the much because God already knows. You ain't gonna follow through. It's just for your own selfish reasons that you want it, right? So this, like everything, is about you. We are held responsible for whatever we have, whether it's a little in our eyesight or a lot. But whatever God has given you is never a little, it's always a lot. You might be doing a little with it, right? Because maybe He gave you the cup that runneth over, but you see somebody with the tank running over and you want the tank, not knowing the run is it's not in the tank or the cup, it's in the runneth over. That's what it's in. It's not the size. Because if you take what God gave you and it runneth over, it it takes care of everything on your dime. If He gave somebody a tank and it runneth over, it's the same. It's no different. It's no different. The size is no different. Your faith is, and how you handle what God gave you, the desires of your heart, your selfish or unselfish prayers, right? Like the prayer I prayed for last night. Like I said, it wasn't for me, you guys. It was big. And it came about because of the parking space and me seeing the thing that Brandon told me to look at, me looking at the words and said, that's nothing to God. Like what you asking for? It's nothing. But sometimes, y'all, we don't ask big because we know we're not living big. And by living big, I'm not saying the big house, the big car, the fancy shoes. See, it ain't about that. It ain't about that. Sometimes you don't ask God for it because you know, you know. And I ain't going to tell you what you know. because you know, right? So, Brandon, before I turn it back over to you, I'm going to read a few of these comments. See how far we can go back up. I think we did that one. So, Big Mike says, "Good morning. God is great. Sunday, fun day." Um, Big Mike says, "God is the true sustainer when it's all said and done. Without Him, there is no me." So then there is you, right? So and this is a good point, Mike. We'll say these things, but y'all, we got to really believe these things in your heart of hearts that without God, there is no me. So who do you serve? And who do you have faith in? How much faith do you have in Him? Because the things you are tuggling about, that your heart is you're going through the valley about, it's nothing to God. It's nothing to God. Matter of fact, He didn't even tell you to go in the valley. Your thoughts and your things get you in places. Like God be like, I didn't tell you to go. I ain't send you there. And I'm not saying He won't ever send you in a place that make you feel like it's the valley. But if He sends you, let's go. Let's
Right.
go.
Then go to him for getting out of it, because why would
Right.
you not go
Getting
to
through it.
the one who got you there, put you there, is in control of the decree for your situation? Why would you not go and is the one who can alleviate your situation?
Yeah.
Why would you not go to God? And
Yeah.
God is the one that brought you to it, the one that can bring you through it, and the one who knows better than you do.
Right.
Why not?
Right. But when we get in situations, we don't even think about, man. And so next time you get in a situation or feel like you're in a situation, my cup runneth over. My cup and my saucer runneth over. Whom shall I fear? Who can do anything to me when God is for me? Come on. Nelda Brown KL says, tires go flat, but I have a spare. That's what I'm talking about. That's my saying right there. Because y'all know we'll have a flat tire. Oh God, da 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 da. Tires go flat. You buy milk, milk spoils. So see the mind, how it play on you. Tire go flat, have a spare. If you know that's they have a place in the car for a spare. So whose fault is it if your tire goes flat and you don't have a spare? What does our affirmation say? Today I will dig my well before I'm thirsty. Today I will put a spare in my car before my tire runs flat. About that, right? Thank you for that reminder, KL. Trent Williams says God is big God. God is a big God who doesn't do small things. Grand rising, folks. Amen to that. He says, I go to God with multiple pictures because I know the blessings will be continuously filled. Um, KL, I guess, had to get out. He said, y'all have an amazing day. And Big Mike says, thank you. You also have an amazing day to KL. So those are the comments that we have. And Brandon, it's 7:43. We might be able to get out of here at 7:45, right? Maybe, if
Yeah.
you don't have anything. I think I'm good. I just all of this is good, and this one really, you guys, serves all of them, but this one is a contemplation. This should be contemplated all day today. You know, what do I have? What am I taking before God? Does it runneth over?
Am I
And if
receiving?
so, with what
Am I able to receive?
am I
Right.
able to receive? You know, Brandon thought about the because I didn't get to read this one, but remember the topic that I asked you about that we're going to do on relationships,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Unavailable to receive it.
Yeah. Yeah. Time such
Yeah,
as this.
yeah. Such as this, such a
So
time as
cool.
this.
Maybe it's confirmation for you, you know?
Right, right,
So, but cool,
right.
man. I appreciate y'all and for coming and on this Sunday. I know y'all have I'm sure much to do or much to catch up on with even yourself. So thank y'all for joining us, for listening in and watching on the 130th day of the In This Season podcast. Big round of applause to my mother, the butterfly, for keeping us locked in, keeping us loaded with all the things that she does in the back office, from the little banners that go down at the bottom to setting up the show. I really appreciate you, Mom. Just wanted to let you know that. So we'll end this show the same way that we do every single day, with a reading of the title. Well, first off, again, letting you know, Daily Motivations for African American Success. Get the book. If you don't have the book, you're slacking. I don't know why. This makes your cup bigger. This makes your container bigger. So go get a bigger container. But we read at the end of the show the title, the quote from the distinguished African American, and then 3 readings of the affirmation. Why? Because one time I need to hear it, another time you need to hear it, and then we need to say it again to let it soak in, and so we remember to invite someone else to tomorrow's show. All right. So today's title was Your Cup Runneth Over. As my mother said, my cup runneth over. Right. So you can say it that way today. My cup runneth over. And success is when your cup runneth over and your saucer too. That's what Nathaniel Bronner Sr., the entrepreneur, said. And our affirmation is, today I will dig my well before I'm thirsty. I will affirm what I want. It said you have to affirm what you want because you have to see yourself already in possession of what you want, already, positively and affirmingly. I'm healthy, I'm prosperous, I'm happy. So again, back to that affirmation. Today, I will dig my well before I'm thirsty. I will affirm what I want. What do you want? Are you affirming it? Let's read that one more time. And I really want you to take it to heart and think about what you want, what you're affirming, or what you're negating, what you need to stop saying, what negative self-talk you need to stop saying. And how can you today, I will dig my well. It's going to take some work.
Oh, I think we've gotten Brandon frozen. I'll pick up as we wait for it to do whatever it's to undo whatever it's doing. Today, I will. Brandon, we lost you for a minute there.
Okay. Okay.
Today, I will dig my well before I'm thirsty. Y'all, that is so important. That is so important. Dig your well before you're thirsty. Thirsty. As I mentioned with the tire, it's so simple. It's so simple. But do you know how many people will get on the road with no spare and then blame God or get angry at the world when they have a flat? Do you know how many people know that tires go flat, but they don't know how to change a tire? Don't have, maybe they have a spare, but they don't have the other, the jack, whatever it is, Brandon, the thing, the
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
that goes with it. So God supplies all of your needs. I'm going to stop that right there. No question. But this says, I'm today I will dig my well before I'm thirsty. Thirsty, I will affirm what I want. Because don't you know, if he'll give you what you need, he'll give you some of the things that you want. Because he loves you that much, right? He'll give you some of the things that you just want. Because he wants his daughters and his sons, right, to be taken care of, to be happy, to enjoy this life. But do you want to enjoy this life? Do you want to? Right? So, Brandon, that's all I have. I guess maybe you want to read it one more time since we lost you. Did we lose you again? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. We getting too deep for the internet world here
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like it keeps freezing on me.
Yeah, I don't know what that's
It's
about. It
cool.
did so good, but
Right.
that's okay. We probably need to get out of here anyway. But like I said, sometimes they don't want you to get it, so
They don't
y'all
want you.
better get it. Your cup runneth over, and your salsa,
They can't
and your
stop.
salsa.
They cannot stop it.
Do you get that? And your salsa. So you hop around through your house today singing that song. Make it out of a song. My cup and my saucer runneth over. Yeah, baby. All right.
I
Get them
appreciate
hands up. Right.
that. There you go, mom.
And my salsa. Right.
That's
Right. Are
right.
you willing to wait for it? Right.
That's right.
All right. We're out of here, y'all.
All right,
Brandon,
y'all.
you
Y'all
got
have a good
anything?
one. We'll be back here now. Just wanted to let them know we'll be back here tomorrow, 7 a.m. Bring a friend. I ain't seen nobody bring a friend yet in a couple of days. What y'all up to? Bring a friend. Last person to bring a friend was Mike, and he bought somebody that needed it. If I remember correctly, he needed it.
Yeah.
He needed a little something. I ain't seen him back. But tell him come on through if he want a little bit more. But I love y'all. Bring somebody to the barbecue tomorrow. Let's talk about it. To the conversation. Go throughout this day, reflect upon what we talked about today, and let us know what you think tomorrow. Mom, we got to do better about asking people about their day yesterday, and seeing what experiences they're having with the book. So we'll try to be up on that tomorrow. But thank y'all again for joining us. Go to the YouTube, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for the In This Season podcast. The letter N, this season podcast. And we'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Peace.
Y'all be available for your cup to runneth over
Yeah.
and your salsa. Be available for that. Right? Be available for it. Y'all be great.